3.
Hey, it's Van Riggs from the Kicker Morning Show. Also, voice of the Smith Station Panthers along here. D. Mark Mitchell, voice of the Opelika Bulldogs.
Long time. Also on the mark.
That's right.
15:20 a.m., 7 to 9 every weekday morning.
And you've been calling ball games for, this is your what, second year?
Second year. Add 31 to that. That'll be 33 years.
So we had another big Friday night of football action going on this Friday night, and it's going to be a lot. There's a lot of big area games going on tonight, and some big region games. Opelika in the middle of one of them too.
Absolutely. I think it's region night for the public schools, which means this is a night. If you have, you're in the region, you play a region game tonight, unless it's an odd number of teams. But yeah, Opelika is in a battle tomorrow, which will be Saturday instead of Friday because of the Alabama State game, which was moved to Thursday because of TV. It bumped the Opelika-Carver game till Saturday, so they'll play at 7 Saturday night after beating Central last Friday night. Very important game for Opelika and Carver to try to either lock down first or second place. Opelika has a chance to still be in first place if they go unbeaten. Carver's got a chance to be in second place.
That was a big win, and you look at if Opelika can beat Carver, they got a tough road game at Smith Station, but and then the Montgomery teams on the schedule, they have not had success this year, so that could shape up to be a huge Auburn-Opelika game this year. If it's not already big enough,
You're
put
right.
in that they're both undefeated coming in. Wow, would that be huge?
Yeah, if we get by Carver and Auburn gets by Central and Carver, it will be for the championship.
Wow,
There's
that would
no
be
doubt.
big. Auburn, speaking of, they take on Sidney Lanier, a team that they lost 2 games by a point, but that was to Northview and Leah Montgomery. Not a very, they got some talent on the team, but the depth just not going to compete with Auburn.
No, I don't think so either, man. Auburn's by far the best team in this area, on paper, and it's certainly played that way. And got one of the top prospects in the nation, and Coach Carter's got his program rolling, and I don't see that game, close. And I'm not meaning that in a bad way. Auburn's a very good football team.
Oh, yes.
And Auburn would be certainly the favorite to win the region at this point.
Smith Station got a chance to see that Auburn team last week. Fell hard, 48-7. They take on Jeff Davis. They got beat 70-0 last week. Carver, Montgomery. JD's struggling right now, and I think they'll struggle again coming up as they travel to Smith Station.
I agree. This is a good game for Smith Station because they lost. They've had a couple of tough games, a lot of turnovers they've had this year, and this will be a game that can take their frustrations out and get them a region win. Let me tell you, they're not out of the playoffs. They can try for that 4th spot. If they beat the Montgomery schools and position themselves right, they can be in the playoffs.
And one thing again about Smith Station last week against Auburn, they did not put a lot of points on the board. They did move the ball pretty effectively. Yep. They got the passing game going, which is something Coach Rosen's staff has wanted to do. The running game's always there, and they were able to run the ball at times very effectively. But against that Auburn defense, when you've got linebackers that can chase down plays that are on the other side of the field, and that just they're a talented ball team, and so. Hopefully a pretty good win for Smith Station coming up against JD. I think so too. And then Central, they're down in Montgomery Friday night, and they take on Robert E. Lee. Red Devils should get back on track, I'm sure.
Yeah, Central, kind of same situation with Central last week playing Opelika. Opelika played Central last week, and then Carver. The prior week, Carver played Central. So, but yeah, Central will get back going. Robert E. Lee, they're not a very good football team either, and that's not being, putting the players down. They're just not very, talented right now. I think for sure Central will get back on the winning track.
Yeah, Carver, it's safe to say that the cream of the crop at Montgomery.
No doubt.
Beauregard area game, they're taking on Ashford. That home game for the Hornets. And then you look, Valley's playing Benjamin Russell. Tallahassee got Headland. And then going down the list, some other teams from our area, Lochapoka. They're back at home against Verbena. They had a big win. And talk about Coach Tate's big, exciting win.
Yes, sir, no doubt. And Coach Tate's been at Lochapoka 18 years. He's won 126 ball games, which makes him the winningest coach in Lee County school system history. And what a great feat that is. He passed Moose Godwin, who used to be with you on the Smith Station broadcast, legendary coach. And I can't say enough about the job Coach Tate does. He makes his players act right. They play hard. They leave it on the field. Win or lose, they do it the right way. And I'm awful proud of Coach Tate and his program for winning 126 games over his 18-year career at Poca. And they will win Friday night. I think they'll win.
And Lee Scott Glenwood, always a big rivalry game. And boy, it's the Opelika Auburn News game of the week this week. So that's going to be always a barn burner.
Well, as Coach Maddox told me earlier, Van, this is the kind of a game that will either put one of those schools in second place in the region. There's one team undefeated, and if Lee Scott continues to win, they'll sew up the number 2 spot.
Springwood, they're at Hooper. Ballard, they're taking
Well,
on.
let's go back a minute now. That Hooper. What about
Oh
that
yeah,
Hooper
yeah.
school?
Alma Mater there.
There you go. Okay.
Springwood's struggling right now, and Hooper, they got a pretty good football team built together. So I think it'll be another tough week for Springwood. But who's to say? But you're going on the road too and playing a team that's they're looking to get back on the winning track. Hooper too. They felt pretty tough last week at Fort Dale, so that'll be a big game there. And then Ballard, they're on the road too. They go to Colonial Hills Christian. And then you got rounding things up, a few games: Lyman Ward, Bessemer, Notasulga at Fayetteville, and Lynette at Montgomery Academy. So big Friday night week ahead for us.
I'll tell you what, I want to say something. Notasulga is kind of turned their program around. They are really doing well. Beat their rival Polka last week.
That's right.
Coach Lucas has done a good job over in Notasulga, and they may win. And going back to that Ballard game, they play 8-man football.
That's right.
And they're playing in Lithia Springs, Georgia, and Buddy's got another good team, on hand. So a lot of good games, Friday night, Saturday, this week, for high school football.
D. Martin, voice of the Bulldogs. I'm the voice of the Smith Station Panthers, Van Riggs, and we'll try to do this about every week and get down and preview the games.
Sounds good.
Right back here on KickerFM.com. Thank you for tuning in.